And the last thing for today is going to be this is also a spot where I see population playing really wrong with a big stack. So 54 versus 18, so with 28 average, 8 max. Big blind versus button. Okay, this is the spot where someone has 6 big. This is extreme spot, right? So EP has 6 big blinds and he folded. Common final tables that someone in super short, and the button is having a huge risk premium against the big blind, right? 15% and 14 against small blind. So he needs to play really tight strategy with like some open jamming and very polar raising range. So to combat that, we're not gonna jam, like we're not gonna take now like 5s or 6s or whatever, or even suited aces and jam to him. So instead, our strategy is going to be to call a lot, and then because we over-realize, this is a spot where we over-realize possible because we have a big stack, we are allowed to lead some boards. So like any low boards that he's not going to be connected with, we get to lead. So we are over-realizing post-flop, and the way to attack him is not by jamming because it's easy to play. He just have a polar range, right? So you either like have a snap call or snap fold, right? So instead we basically hit him with a small non-all-in 3-bet. And this is just going to be way harder to play against. So this is his opening range. Let's see, like bottom versus 3-bet, so bottom versus big blind. So when he faces a 3-bet, yeah, and this is also interesting. So because our range is polar, he needs to play. He's just playing like call or fold. He's not jamming anything. This is interesting. Small raising to get and lose minimum versus top end. Exactly, yes. So it's just when we look again bottom versus big blind, it's just like always think about what his range and what you're trying to accomplish with your. So like I see people jam here 7s or 8s or 9s, which is again like what's the point, right? So you jam 7s to get called by what? Like are you bluffing with 7s? So why would you bluff with 7s, right? You're not really going to get called by 5s, or we use jams with pocket pairs to deny equity sometimes, but that happens when we're facing a really wide opening range with a lot of offsuit stuff. He doesn't even have offsuit stuff in his opening range, right? So just few. And yeah, this is why it's important to always think about, especially when ICM is involved, there's going to be always adjustments in ranges, and think about what we want to do against a specific range rather than staying with our like normal strategy that we're used to. Again, same thing we see as for choosing candidates to non-all-in raise. We see that usually going to be a bottom of our calling range with some blocker and unblocker, like king 4 off, queen 3 off, ace deuce off, even these type of stuff that are towards the bottom of our range. This is like basically 2 unblockers, like unblocks every stuff in the middle, and yeah, we get to 3-bet fold with that. Yeah, bottom actually gets to jam pretty wide in this spot. Yeah, because this is his way. The reason why is basically because he don't want to min raise and let big blind call all of this stack, all of these hands, and play possible against the big stack. So instead, he just plays a strategy that is towards open jamming, and also because if he raise, because this is the problem, right? So versus small blind, he has risk premium of what, 6%, and against big blind, he has risk premium of 15%. So he's not able to raise call that many hands, and this is why he play heavy open shoving strategy. Could you show big blind calling versus jam? Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is big blind calling versus jam. 5, ace 9 suited, ace 9 off, and I think even this is pretty realistic. Even I can see some more folding even here. When we're this kind of 18, 15 big blind stack, and when we're in the late position, we still need to fight for chips. We cannot just sit and wait for someone shorter to bust. Especially like the good adjustments in ICM would be like when you see other players in the table are just playing too tight, we just need to fight for pots, because there is a low chance that we're gonna getting pay jams, that they're gonna bust, right? Because they're gonna be playing tight. If we are playing in a group of like 4 maniacs on the table, yeah, that's probably a good spot to sit and wait and let them bust themselves. But that's usually not the case. I think with short stacks, especially like population is like playing a little bit too tight. And if you look at the small blinds, small blind is also going to have a pretty wide open jamming range against the big stack, right? If they're too tight, they leave EV on the table. We can capture that by filling in that empty space with aggression. Yep.